as far as the role of grammar in learning English is concerned, okay, I also teach grammar to students while learning English without telling them rules. Generally speaking, I don't tell them rules. What happens in my class? I just make students speak English. I share some activities with them, and they speak in the light of those activities. And I have seen they speak English even for 20 minutes, for 40 minutes, and even for 1 hour as well. I'm going to discuss the issue of grammar. Well, sometimes they say something about grammar. They say, sir, my grammar isn't good. Teach me tenses, teach me grammar. I tell them, okay, if I teach you grammar on the first day, what will be the result? After 1 month, I am almost sure you have studied grammar for 12 years. You may not learn grammar in 1 month. And what will be the result? On the first day, you don't speak English. On the last day as well, you won't be able to speak English.
Yes.
So I tell them, at first, totally forget about grammar. Just pay attention to the sentence structure that you are given to practice.
Yes.
So they just absorb grammar. I don't teach them grammar explicitly. I teach them grammar implicitly.
Oh yes, that's a good idea. So I can say the same thing and using some different expression or different wording. I would say there are two aspects of grammar. The one is purely theoretical grammar, like this is present indefinite tense and this is present simple or present continuous, labels and names of those structures. The other beautiful way of teaching grammar that is being practiced in the current era in most of the well-groomed and well-developed academic institutes, that is, according to modern theories, how they teach grammar, like they are putting few sentences, they are giving situations, like if a thing's action happens habitually, like you daily have a morning walk, you use the present simple structure, like I go to walk daily.
Can I have a marker, please?
I listen English for many hours, so the thing that habitually happens, so situations and using sentences, this is the other aspect of grammar. We can say the practical aspect of grammar, like we have a piece of text, we have a paragraph, and we are saying, oh, here which structure has the structure I have learned today, here in this line that structure has been applied. And the same way, when we are listening, we notice carefully which type of verbs, which type of words have been attached with which type of adjectives the speaker have used for a particular object. So this is, I think, the theoretical aspect of grammar. One that is for the experts, for the people of language and the teachers and academicians. Yes, up to some extent they need theoretical aspects as well. Those who have a subject of discipline as major in their studies, they must be good at that. But for general English learner and those who want to learn speaking, yes, you're right that they should focus on the practical aspect of grammar. Would you like to share some plans and ideas how to be more focused? And especially our language trainers are also watching us who teach English language at different universities. How will you motivate them, and the trainers also, the professors also, that they be more focused on the practical aspect of grammar and they teach grammar in an interesting way rather than make it a dry, boring theoretical subject?
Okay, as I told them, as I just now I have said that the teachers shouldn't at the first stage the teachers shouldn't focus on grammar. They should focus on spoken skill, or if they're interested in writing, they should be they should focus on this skill. And when a student achieves a certain level of fluency, then they should point out the mistakes of the students.
Yes,
hey, I would
that is also an interesting point, that when we point out the grammatical mistake, oh, you have done mistake, the person is discouraged, and this also is a hurdle for speaking in English.
I can assure you, when somebody speaks English in front of you, and I'm not a native speaker, you are not a native speaker either, there are other people as well. If anyone, if you listen to the speech of the president of your country, if his English is not native English, and the president makes the speech without a script, I'm speaking without any script this time. I have not written it.
Yes.
I'm speaking without a script. Okay, if the president of your country speaks without a script and English isn't their first language, then I can, bet with you they are going to make mistakes.
Yes.
And if if you interview the president, and in the interview you tell the president, okay sir, today you made a speech without a script and you made these mistakes, you tell them the list of mistakes, I can bet with you the president, their confidence will drop.
Even said the experts I have seen, and you also pointed out many times, during our MPhil studies, you told us many times that even in the published research articles, which
Yes,
were
sir.
published in the established, recognized research journals, they had many language mistakes in the published research work as well.
Even in published research papers, the research of what we can say published published articles, published authors, it also contains many mistakes as well.
Yes.
So don't get worried. And number one. Number two, if you want to correct the mistakes of students, I tell you here another subtle way. Okay, when the class is, no, I'm going to use this activity, this type of thing, I think. Well, when the class ends, in the course of the class, I would recommend the teacher to write down a few mistakes the students, frequently make.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, and 5. When the class ends, you can tell the student, okay, today I'll tell you a few mistakes some students may make.
Okay.
I'll tell you, or the teacher can say, okay, I'm going to tell you the usage of a few, these grammar points. And the teacher will discuss the errors, the mistakes the students made in the course of the class. And then the teacher may say, okay, because I don't want, to shatter the confidence of student, that's why I'm not going to point out the students can understand. It's the second stage.
Yeah.
And number 3, if the teacher is if it's a one-to-one class, or if there is a situation and the teacher feels that the confidence of the student is okay, super high, the confidence of the student,
Yes.
then the teacher can individually point out the mistakes of the student as well. And sometimes some students come to you and say, sir, please, I have made a speech, or I have written something, please point out my mistakes. So if you want to point out the mistakes of students individually, my idea, if it's a 20-minute speech, I'm not going to listen. I should listen to the speech of a student 20 minutes long, I'm not going to listen.
Okay.
Ask the student, okay, to speak on the issue of like abortion, environment, recycling. There are many other issues as well. Speak on this or that topic just for 30 seconds or 1 minute.
Okay.
Speak in a natural way.
Yes.
And then after listening to the students discourse, a 20-second long, 30-second long discourse, because it will be natural language, you can give your feedback.
Yes.
And in this way you can correct the mistakes of the student as well.
Okay, sir, another thing, let's talk about that matter as well. Students sometimes think that there are some students who think that grammatical accuracy is not required, and that is a wrong myth in our non-native speakers who speak English. Our students think that the grammatical accuracy is not required. It is required. The example is when we learn our native language, like I am an Urdu speaker, if our students, you are Urdu or Hindi speaker, you say मैं जा रहा हूँ, you don't say मैं जा रही हूँ if you are a male. So there is gender difference, raha and rahi. You know this grammatical point that for masculine you have used a different form of verb, different style of verb, you have different expression for masculine gender, for number, मैं जा रहा हूँ और हम जा रहे हैं, if the plural sense. And if you are a Persian speaker from Iran, and any students is attending this session from Iran or Afghanistan, when you people say like man tora didam, ma tora didem, so you have different expressions for that. Man tora didam for singular, ma tora shunidem for plural sense. And if you are Arabic speaker from Saudi Arabia, we have got many audience here, and many people from Damascus University, Syria and other countries. If you are from Arab world and your native language is Arabic, and you can understand this example when we say huwa rajulun, hiya imra'atun. We use different huwa rajulun, hiya imra'atun, ma ismuka wa ma ismuki, min ayyi baladin anta wa min ayyi baladin antum. So we have different expressions for singular, we have different pronouns, everything. But the concept is that when you learn your native or first language at an early age, you absorb it by listening. You absorb grammar implicitly, as you mentioned. They don't study grammatical rules in classroom, but by continuous listening, they can catch this point or which type of grammatical things you have to use at which stage. Same happens there. You need grammar, but sources can be different. Either you learn it by rules, that is a long time taking project. The shortcut and easy way is just listen to native speakers and keep focusing on this thing, how grammatical rules are being employed in that, which type of pronoun they use in different situation, which type of structure they use for which expression. So, but grammatical accuracy is needed. A layman in a native English country also speaks grammatically correct English, but he has not learned it from school, from a teacher. He has learned it from his society, where he had a good atmosphere, where English was being used as a first language in that society.